What's going on, Aurora Alliance, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront Death Star DLC related video. And today we're going to be talking about one of the new heroes to Star Wars Battlefront, Chewbacca. Armed with his signature bowcaster, Chewbacca can deal out even more damage than he can actually take. You will find his bowcaster even more powerful than the Trooper's star card, as it initially only shoots one explosive bolt and doesn't have a hold and release behaviour. So first of all, when I was actually using Chewbacca, I felt incredibly powerful, which isn't something I normally feel when I play with the Star Wars Battlefront heroes. There's no hero in this game at the moment that I can say I honestly feel like I could take on anyone with. When I've been playing as heroes recently, I've found myself choosing Princess Leia over every other hero in the game, purely because she can actually heal herself in some game modes. Her blaster is reasonably powerful, and she can also obviously one-shot stormtroopers with her Trooper Bane. Pair all of that up with her quad shield, and you get yourself a pretty powerful hero who can also defend herself as well as attack extremely well. That was until, of course, the Death Star DLC pack came out. The first time I ever played as Chewbacca, I felt like I could take on waves and waves and waves and waves of stormtroopers without really getting affected by it much. The bowcaster he does use is unbelievably powerful, and the abilities such as his ground slam just completely destroy stormtroopers close by. I found myself, especially with the ground slam, getting a lot of killstreak feeds. And when I go into areas where there are a lot of stormtroopers, especially in the Death Star, because it's such a small, confined map, you will pretty much get multiple multi-kills with Chewbacca really easily. His trait, if you didn't know, is Furious Firing, which is tied directly to his iconic weapon. For each trait level, he will shoot one extra bolt to a total of 4 explosive bolts. Combine this trait with his multi-bolt ability, it will achieve 8 destructive bolts per shot. Again, this at close range is unbelievable, and you will just wipe out stormtroopers as if they're just little ants, really. There's nothing stopping Chewbacca when you're on a roll with this trait paired up with the multi-bolt ability. And I've also found that he destroys other heroes in the game so easily. When I first came across Bossk in the Death Star DLC pack, I was panicking because I was Chewbacca and I was like, oh my god, I know the abilities that Bossk actually has. I didn't play with him at the time, so I kind of panicked a bit and I just went all out with Chewbacca's abilities, his bowcaster on its own, and I found that I killed Bossk extremely easily in the Death Star DLC pack. It felt like Bossk didn't really stand a chance against Chewbacca at all. If you don't know what his multi-bolt ability is, the multi-bolt ability for a short time will double the amount of bolts per shot fired by Chewbacca. This ability, like I've said before, complements his trait and should be used at an opportune moment for maximum effect. If you do come across heroes or a large group of stormtroopers, this ability paired up with the trait will help you out so much, and it will keep you alive because it just destroys enemies. There's nothing they can do about it because the bowcaster is so powerful because it is a hero weapon on Chewbacca. So paired up with his trait and his multi-bolts, it's just devastating, really. The Mighty Roar is the one ability which I didn't really find that useful. I was using it a lot because of what it actually does, but you know, if it was just me on my own, say I was playing Hero Hunt and I was given Chewbacca, I wouldn't necessarily use the Mighty Roar that much. With the Mighty Roar, Chewbacca will improve himself and all allies around him on the battlefield. He will give rebel soldiers level 3 Berserker trait effect and very high armor for a limited time. Just in case you didn't know what the Berserker trait actually did, at level 3 it does give players a high blaster damage boost when firing from the hip. So they get that along with the very high armor effect for a limited time. And Chewbacca will also be affected by the roar, and he will gain armor and damage. Inspired heroes around him will get the armor effect but not the damage increase. In the later stages of Phase 2, in the Battle Station game mode, you do get a lot more heroes coming in. So if you are Chewbacca and you are alive at that point, and you are near other heroes on your side obviously, and you activate the Mighty Roar, it will give heroes an extra armor effect. So Chewbacca not only does a lot of damage himself, but he does help out nearby allies. Like I've said, I haven't noticed it affect me too much, but I have noticed that the damage of the bowcaster does actually go up, and that just wrecked people. So when I felt that I was getting overpowered by stormtroopers, if my multi-bolt ability wasn't ready to be activated again, I would activate the Mighty Roar so I had extra damage so I could take out the stormtroopers before taking too much damage myself. I touched on the ground slam ability a little bit earlier on in this video, but my god does this ground slam ability just wipe out waves and waves of stormtroopers with very little effort, really. This ability allows Chewbacca to display his strength by smashing the ground and damaging all enemies in a large area. This works extremely well in the Death Star again, and I imagine it will work extremely well in a lot of close quarters maps. So overall, my experience of Chewbacca so far in the Star Wars Battlefront game is that he is just an absolute tank. He is one of the most powerful heroes for the Rebel side in the game at the moment. I don't know if they're going to nerf him. He just is so powerful, I really can't express it enough. If you haven't used Chewbacca yet, you really need to try and get to use him, because at close range, he is probably the best hero in the game. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about Chewbacca if you have actually used him yet. Smash a like on this video if you have enjoyed it, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to join the Axrora Alliance and be kept up to date with all things Star Wars. Other than that, may the Force be with you.